Hello, all you party people. You're back with Brittany. And for May, we're doing an Asian Readathon.
It's Brittany, bitch.
Fellow booktuber Cindy from Read with Cindy created this Asian Readathon where you basically challenge yourself to read as many works as you can from Asian authors or with Asian characters is the best way for me to describe it. I'm gonna link all her stuff down below. Please go check it out. I'm planning on reading 6 books for this. One of them I have already started because I have the audiobook for it and I got it from my library early, so I just wanted to get started on it. I'll be reading 2 mixed authors, 1 non-Asian author, 2 Chinese authors, and 1 Pakistani author. The first book that I'm planning to read is A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. This book has been pretty much recommended by absolutely everyone. This book rips out people's souls as far as I am concerned, and I'm ready to suffer. This author is Korean, Japanese, and American, and she wrote this fabulous novel, and it is a very long novel, and all I know about it is it centers around, I believe, 4 friends, and there's a lot of trigger warnings for this book, including rape, self-harm, abuse. There's a lot of things in here that I'm sure are just very triggering for pretty much almost every single person on this planet. But I'm very, very excited to read this, and this is the library book from my friend Ariel. While we're in quarantine, she let me borrow this. Also, something I love about this book, all it says about the author is she lives in New York City. Like, that is the least descriptive thing about the author I've ever read in my life. It's kind of funny because I feel like some authors like blur about themselves like constantly, like, oh, we love hiking with our 3 dogs when the wind blows. And she's just like, I live in New York City. That's it. This looks like a beautiful, heartbreaking story about friendship. Something I forgot to mention, by the way, is obviously since we are in quarantine, I have no other way for me currently to get books unless I go out and buy them. And I'm trying not to do that. So all of those ones that I have are library books from my friend, or they're the ones that are already in my TBR shelf. And honestly, this challenge has helped me go through some of my books because I've had them on my shelf for years. And basically I still move almost every single year, and I move all the time, and what happens was I wasn't going through my books, and so I just kept bringing books with me and never actually going through all of them. And then friends, like I had like multiple friends give me their books, and I never actually went through all the freaking books they gave me. So I finally went through them this last time when I moved, but it's time that I go through and actually read them and see if I actually want to keep these. The next book is by a Japanese, Chinese, American author named Gail Tsukiyama. This is Women of the Silk. I believe I picked this up in like a bookstore up in Truckee. I swear God, I'm pretty sure that's where I got this from. I'm like 99% positive. It was some random thrift shop I've never seen in my life, but it was just like this little small dinky thing in Truckee. This, as far as I know, just takes place in 1926 in a silk factory. And this young girl goes off to work in the factory, take care of her family, and that's all I really know, other than there's probably like some revolt going on, some revolution, but I don't really want to read much more into it. I just kind of want to like jump in. Also, so many of the books that I enjoy are of this variety where they're basically stories of Chinese American literature, where it's back in time in history, how it used to be over in those Asian countries. Usually China. 99% of the time it's China. So this is not out of the character for me at all, and that's exactly why I bought this book. I just haven't read it, so I'm actually really excited for this. This book is Honolulu by Alan Brennert, and he is not Asian, but I love his work. So I read one of his other books, Molokai, and it was one of my favorite books. I absolutely loved it. It was fantastic. It was one of those ones that just kind of sticks with you. And I'm really hoping that this is as well. I believe this is a standalone. Molokai just got its sequel like 15 years later. It got it last year. I still haven't read that. So I have no idea how this story like grew. This is the story of a young immigrant bride who is basically sold to some man in Hawaii. And she has to learn to live in Honolulu, which becomes like this great modern city. And it's something that I just love. I also just like love Hawaii. With his passionate knowledge of Hawaii, far off of the tourist track, Honolulu is a spellbinding tale of 4 women in a new world united by dreams, disappointment, sacrifices, and friendship. Sign me the fuck up. next book is by Marie Lu, and it is Legend. She's a very, very famous author, I believe, of mostly young adult dystopian, which is what this is. So I'm really glad this kind of broke up the rest of my books. I feel like the rest of them are kind of similar, and they have a lot of the similar themes that I enjoy, like historical fiction, usually starting in a different country, 99% of the time China. So this was totally, totally different. And I'm kind of excited to see what it's about because I have pretty much this entire set of, what's what I'm looking for? I have the entire series of this on my bookshelf basically because my friend gave me a whole bunch of these whenever her and her daughters were like super done with them. So I'm so excited to try this out, and it looks like something I would enjoy. It's very like Hunger Games-esque is kind of like how I'm looking at it. And Marie Lu herself is Chinese. So this was the perfect opportunity for me to finally pick this up because I'm so tired of having stuff in my TBR basically like on my bookshelf, and I'm just like not reading them because I also didn't know where to start. Like I didn't research half of them. Like I literally just kept taking books, and I knew they were in a series, so I kept them. Like that's all I was doing. So I'm actually excited to try to get started on this, and maybe I'll fall in love with this series and finish it. This is The Valley of Amazement by Amy Tan. She is a very, very famous author. She wrote The Joy Luck Club, which everyone freaking knows. I bought this book. There's a sticker. I bought this book in Costco, actually, before I went to China 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years. Why don't they ever rip right? This is kind of a chunky boy. The writing is very tiny in here. And I'm already, oh God, it's almost 600 pages. Woof, it's like literally 600 pages. Ooh. The Valley of Amazement is a deeply moving narrative of family secrets, legacies, and the profound connections between mothers and daughters, reminiscent of the compelling territory Tan so expertly mapped in the Joy Luck Club. With her characteristic wisdom, grace, and humor, Tan conjures up a story of inherited trauma, desire, deception, and the power and stubbornness of love. Again, totally my shit. I just love this stuff. I actually started trying to read this when I was in China. This was a ticket from something I don't remember. What is that from? Oh, it's from visiting the Summer Palace. That's right. I went to China 2 years ago. That was quite the adventure. I literally almost got arrested in China. That is a story for another time. The last book I want to read is I Am Malala, the story of the girl who stood up for education and was shot by the Taliban, by Malala Yousafzai. I can't ever say her name right. Yousafzai. It's not even that hard. I already listened to her pronounce it like 3 times, and I can't pronounce it. I'm terrible. I can't pronounce it. Anyway, she is my Pakistani author, and I found this on audiobook, and I requested it, and it finally came in, so I've already started listening to it, and I'm most of the way through. I'm about 65% of the way in, and I just love listening to her story. It is just so inspiring about how she was literally shot through the freaking head and lived, and how she's conquering education for women, especially in her country. My special mention, by the way, I feel like so many people don't know about many good like Chinese American authors, and Lisa C is one of my favorite authors because of course she writes historical Chinese American fiction, which is obviously I have to accept that it's obviously a trope that I severely enjoy. I love almost every book that I pick up that has this like theme about it. Some of her books are some of my favorite books. Snowflower and the Secret Fan, Peony in Love, and Shanghai Girls, and a sequel, Dreams of Joy. Her newest book is The Island of Sea Women. Have not read it yet. Dying to read it. I entered on Goodreads to win it. Did not win it. I don't know what it is about her writing too, but I always feel for the characters. And her books are just so good. And there's so much like tragedy in there that I feel, even though I have not experienced any of those things, I just love the way that Lisa C writes. And I feel like I never hear anyone talking about her. So you know what? I'm shouting her out because she's a fantastic Chinese American author. And I didn't even see her on the list that Cindy provides, because Cindy basically has a giant book doc. It's a Google Doc, and you put all your books on there, or you add authors and stuff, and I don't see Lisa C on there at all. So as soon as this whole quarantine is over and I can finally like go out and like go shopping and stuff, and go back to my library, because I got all her books in the library, which is also why the library is so like nostalgic for me, is that I love like going, because I know exactly where her books are in my library, and I will just go and I would go pick up new books from her. So I think that's what I'm going to do as soon as quarantine is over, because I miss her writing. I miss her stories. They are just so beautifully heartfelt. So in the quake of what's going on, I obviously didn't have any other options. I thought about buying a book from, I think it's Murakami. Everyone's been talking about this author, and I really wanted to buy one of his books, but I'm also trying to like wait, because I also have so many books here at home I need to just read that are actually part of this readathon. So I think it's a great way for me to actually go through some of my books and read them, as well as supporting this Asian Readathon, which I think is great. Okay, you guys, like, subscribe, do all that fun junk. I'll talk to you guys later. I might do a reading vlog. I'm not sure if I'll do a reading vlog of all of them, just because I'll probably read them over the month to like stagger them out, because I think like 3 of them are just very similar in like some of their prospects. Even though they may have like different nationalities or whatever, I think it might be best for me to spread those out in between other books, and I have a lot of thrillers from my friend. So I might just be staggering those out, but I will probably doing a reading vlog on A Little Life, because I love watching other people's vlogs on A Little Life and watching people cry. So you know what? I hope I watch it. I hope I bawl my eyes out. I hope you get to see it. Okay guys, do all your fun junk. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.